Hello everybody and welcome to Live Interactive English. I am Shane.
And I'm Karen.
Karen, what's the matter? You look like something you're looking at is causing you some mental stress. What's wrong?
You know, this is my electricity bill, and look how much I have to pay.
What? Is that for the whole year?
No,
What?
that's for 2 months.
How is it that expensive?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I turn on the air conditioner all the time.
But it's already like October. You're still using the air conditioning that much?
No, October I have to pay for the bill of August and September, and it's still very hot, you know?
That's true.
The summertime.
August is super hot. But still, my electricity bill isn't nearly that high. Let me ask you, do you sleep with the air conditioner on?
Of course! Who doesn't?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't you?
Well, I mean, I'll turn it on before bed.
Okay.
But I'll set it. I have a setting on there where you can use a timer, and it'll turn off about after like 1 hour. Mm-hmm. And then I just have a fan on, and it's fine until I wake up in the morning.
Really? Don't you get like too hot and then you'll wake up?
Rarely, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think you just get used to it.
No, but it's summer in Taiwan, it's just really hot. Okay, you have to teach me, you know, a few ways to save money on my electricity bills.
I think I'm gonna have to give you some tips.
Yeah, exactly.
Why don't we do that, and then we will continue after I teach you something.
Okay, and then can I borrow some money to pay for my electricity bills?
No.
Come on.
No. We'll see you in a moment.
Thankfully, there is a way to fight these vampires so they no longer feed on your wallet. The easiest method is to simply unplug your devices when you're not using them. But this may not be practical or convenient for things like washing machines, refrigerators, or TVs. Another way to fix the problem is by plugging your devices into a power strip. This works well for things like cell phone chargers, laptops, and extra devices connected to your computer. When you're not using them, just switch the whole power strip off.
Looking at part 2 of the energy vampires in your home. Okay, and we did mention that it is quite scary because they kind of take the money out of your pocket, although they do not suck your blood.
These so-called energy vampires really just means our electronic devices.
That's right.
Let's continue reading. Thankfully, there is a way to fight these vampires so they no longer feed on your wallet.
Phew,
Maybe you just put a bunch of garlic on top of your electronic devices to scare away the vampires?
They're not real vampires, so I don't think they're going to be scared of garlic.
Okay.
However, though, we have this vocabulary word, thankfully, and that is an adverb. Yeah. So thankfully basically just means something that makes you feel thankful. You feel glad about something. You feel thankful about something. You are happy about something. Yes. So for example, thankfully, everyone was able to get out of the burning house safely. Like you're happy about that happening.
Thankfully, you are explaining that because I think you did a great job.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Why don't you continue reading?
I will. The easiest method is to simply unplug your devices when you're not using them. But this may not be practical or convenient for things like washing machines, refrigerators, or TVs. And I was just thinking that, unplugging things, that's simple, right? But if you have to unplug every single electronic device or home appliance, that would take a long time. It's not convenient at all.
Is there anything that you do unplug when you're not using?
Nope.
Yeah, me neither. But I noticed my mother-in-law, she unplugs everything. If I go into her kitchen, the microwave is always unplugged. Maybe she has a coffee maker. She has all kinds of electronic devices, but they're always unplugged. So I try to go use them, and I think this thing is broken. What's wrong? She said, no, you have to plug it in. I'm like, I have to plug it in and unplug it every time. I just feel like it's so inconvenient, but she's just saving money.
Oh, that's why, right? Because she wants to save money on the electricity bills.
And save the environment too, right?
Okay.
Yeah, but I feel as though it's not very practical. Okay, so practical is an adjective. If something is practical, that means that it's convenient to do that thing. Or the actual act of doing it is easier than maybe the theory of doing it. So for example, theoretically, it's best to unplug all of your devices, but practically, when you're really going to do it, you're going to find that's not really easy to do. It's
That's
not convenient.
true, because it would take a lot of work. It would take a lot of time, right?
For example sentence here, we need a practical solution to the problem.
Something that actually works.
Something that's easy to implement or easy to do, not something too complicated.
That's right.
Okay? So continuing, another way to fix the problem is by plugging your devices into a power strip.
Wait a second. So plugging your devices into a power strip. But what is a power strip?
Well, you know what an extension cord is?
I do.
Right, so you can plug this thing in and it kind of extends the power outlet, right? So a power strip is one of these extension cords that has many outlets on it. So you can plug in many devices, and typically there's a power button on that. So you can turn it on or off. And it can turn everything that's plugged into it on or off at once.
So you just have to do it one time instead of many, many times, right? Okay.
So this works well for things like cell phone chargers, laptops, and extra devices connected to your computer. When you're not using them, just switch the whole power strip off.
I think that's a really, really good idea because I do not have a power strip at home, but that would really help me, you know, save some money on my electricity bills.
So I actually do this, but it wasn't really for saving money. It was just, actually, it's quite practical and quite convenient to do that. Rather than having to turn on a bunch of things and turn them off, you can just turn on one switch and everything turns on or everything turns off.
Okay, and that saves so much time. And we have this vocabulary word here, to connect, and that is a verb. To connect basically just means join two or more things together. You're linking them together. So for example, all these cables are connected to the computer. Okay. Well, I learned a thing or two from our article. I think I know how to save money on my electricity bills now.
We're definitely going to learn more after the break.
Okay.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。我们说的这个能源吸血鬼啊，是指悄悄耗费家里电力能源的常见电子设备。那值得庆幸的是，有一种方法可以对抗这些吸血鬼哦。那么最简单的方法就是，当你没有在使用装置的时候，就拔下插头。只是啊，这对洗衣机啊、冰箱或者是电视之类的物品，可能不实用，也会造成生活不便。而另外一个解决方法就是使用有开关的延长线，这对手机充电器啊，或者是笔电，还有那种连到电脑的其他设备都非常适用。当你没有在使用它们的时候，你就把整个这个延长线的开关把它关掉，这样就可以了。我们来看单字 thankfully， 它是副词，表示幸运的事，幸好，它也可以表达感激的。那么 practical， 它是形容实用的、实际的或是务实的，在后面加上 ly 构成副词 practically， 就表示实际上。好，那么实际上相对我们就有理论上。那么 Shane 老师说这个 theoretically， 我们来拼一下。theoretically theoretically 它表示理论上。下一个单字 connect， 它是动词，表示连接或者是连结。那么文中的这个 power strip 是延长线，延长线插座排插，也就是它会有一排插座可以插的那种延长线。而老师说的这个 extension cord， 它表示延长线或电源延长线，它有可能很可能就是简单的一条线，一边可以让你接到插座，然后另外一边有插头让你接到那种距离比较远的电器。好，再看到老师说 outlet。outlet 它表示插座的意思。那我们也补充一下，当你说 unplug 就表示拔下插头，那么 plug in 则是指插上插头的意思。那这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，我们来看这个重点是名词 接现在分词 VING 或者是接过去分词 PP， 也就是分词片语的用法。我们的形容词子句呢，可以简化成分词片语，也就是你把主格关系代名词省略，然后再把动词改成分词。如果原本动词它是主动或进行，你就用现在分词 VING； 被动的话就是直接用过去分词 PP。举例来说。They visited a castle which was built in the 16th century. 他们参观一座建于16世纪的城堡。那注意到其中这个 which was built in the 16th century， 这是形容词子句嘛？那其中这个 which was built， 你可以把它简化成 built， 那就变成 They visited a castle built in the 16th century。有没有看到这时候 a castle 这个名词后面就是直接接了过去分词 built？ 好，那我们接着回到课文中。
However, the best way to kill energy vampires is to get rid of as many as you can. Many devices have a rating that shows how energy efficient they are. Replace your old devices with newer ones that have a higher rating, and you'll watch your electricity bill drop. Stopping energy vampires affects more than just your bills, though. It reduces everyone's total electricity use, which is better for the environment. So, if you want to have a greener future, start hunting the energy vampires in your house today.
Welcome back, everybody. All right, well, let's learn more about how to save money. Actually, it's not really just about money, right?
And also saving our environment too, right?
Because the more electricity used, this is more natural resources that we're using, and that's bad for the planet.
Exactly. We want to save energy, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's continue. However, the best way to kill energy vampires is to get rid of as many as you can.
So they don't mean like shooting them with a silver bullet, right? I know that's one way you can kill a vampire. I don't think you want to shoot your electronic devices.
We do not.
Could be dangerous.
I wonder what they mean. So many devices have a rating that shows how energy efficient they are. Okay, so what does it mean when they say energy efficient?
All right, so to be efficient, efficient is an adjective, meaning that something can get a lot of work done or have a great effect for very minimal energy, work, or money. So when we're talking about energy efficient, like appliances or things like that, they can actually give you a lot of power and it can get a lot of work done, the machine, without using a lot of energy.
That's right. And I know in modern days, a lot of home appliances like washing machine, air conditioner, they are energy efficient. I mean, a lot better than the ones that we used before.
Right.
Like even refrigerators too. So oftentimes the government will want you to, you know, get rid of your old electronic devices or home appliances.
Right.
You buy a new energy efficient one, and then they will even give you some money too.
Give you a rebate, right?
Yes, that's right.
Our example sentence here for efficient, Tokyo has a highly efficient subway system.
Okay, something that works really, really well, right?
Yes. Replace your old devices with newer ones that have a higher rating, and you'll watch your electricity bill drop.
Okay.
And you might get a rebate from the government as well, right?
That's even better.
Yeah,
And
so what does it mean to replace?
replace is a verb. Replace basically just put something where it was before, like maybe in place of something else.
Right.
So you could replace a person if you're talking about a person working in a company. Let's say maybe a worker has to leave. Then you have to hire a new one to replace that person, right? To do the same job. So in our example sentence, it says, when I have a little more money, I will replace this old TV with a new one. So that means I will get rid of my old TV and then I'll put a new one where it was before.
So have you ever purchased a new, let's say like an appliance or something, just because you want to save energy on your electricity bill?
Well, not just because of that, but also because my old refrigerator was broken.
Okay, but when you're shopping, would you try to shop for something that has like a very good rating, energy efficiency rating?
I will start from now on.
In fact, I had to buy an electric fan recently.
Okay.
And they do sell energy efficient ones. And the reason really why I was so interested is because they really use like half as much energy.
Wow.
Because they have like a DC versus AC. This is what I learned recently.
Okay.
When you're buying fans. And the ones that are DC, it's really like you save so much money.
Okay.
So you save a lot of electricity equals dollars. Right, let me continue.
Okay.
Stopping energy vampires affects more than just your bills, though. Right? It's not just about money.
You're right.
It reduces everyone's total electricity use, which is better for the environment.
So basically, it's like a win-win situation, right?
That's the thing, right? So it doesn't really matter what your motivation is, it's going to win on every level.
Exactly. Okay, so if you want to have a greener future, start hunting the energy vampires in your house today. So what does that mean when they say start hunting the energy vampires? Maybe that means to start looking for, whichever electronic devices or home appliances that's really wasting a lot of energy, right?
So what do you think? What do you think? What are some other ways that you can reduce your electricity use?
Well, to buy energy efficient home appliances and electronic devices.
Right.
That's one way,
that's
right?
one way that we
to do
talked
that.
about.
And
I think another way is to, like I was mentioning before, you can take a break from using electronics. You can take like a technology vacation. So like when I go camping, I really kind of look forward to getting away from my electronic devices. It really does feel like a vacation for your soul.
Really, like without air conditioner, without any fans, without anything, without electricity at all, right?
Yeah, it does require some planning, but you don't want to go like in the middle of the winter when it's really cold and go camping and not have heat or something. That might be uncomfortable. But if you think about it and plan it, you can really have a great time and save the planet and save the money in your wallet.
Okay, that's great. Okay, I'm gonna give that a try.
Okay.
And maybe you guys should too.
All right, and that's all the time we have for today. We hope you learned a lot about saving money and saving the environment by hunting these little vampires.
That's right. See you next time.
好，许多设备呢都有显示节能状况的评级。那课文就建议我们说，把旧设备换成评级比较高的新设备，那就会看到电费减少了。而且购买的时候呢，可能还可以拿到节能补助退款。老师们这时候提到 rebate。REBATE 这个名词，它就表示折扣、退款的意思。好，那话说回来啦，省电并不是只有影响电费账单，当我们每个人的总用电量减少，就可以为环境尽一份心力了。我们最后来看单字 replace， 它是动词，表示更换、取代、替换。我们用 replace A with B， 就是把 A 换成 B。那么 efficient， 它是形容有效率的、效率高的。当我们说 energy efficient， 就表示节省能源的。好，那在讲求效率的时候，往往会希望花最少时间、花最少精力，然后获得最大成果嘛。Shane 老师这时候用到 minimal 这个字 ，M-I-N-I-M-A-L，minimal 是形容极小的或是最小的。这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，这边我们来学感官动词的用法。感官动词是指看啊、听啊、闻啊、感觉等等的动词，包括 watch、see、look at、listen to、hear、feel 等等。那以下介绍两种常见的句型。第一种句型是感官动词加受词加原形动词，这是强调过程或是事实。第二个句型是感官动词加上受词，再加上现在分词 VING， 那这时候是强调动作正在进行。举例来说 ，We saw some kids playing dodgeball。我们看到一些小朋友正在玩躲避球，我们看到他们，然后他们是正在玩的这个状态。那如果说你就直接待在那边，然后看着他们玩，这时候我们可以造个例句说 ，We watched them play dodgeball。我们看着他们玩躲避球。好，那么以上是这个讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Thankfully, there is a way to fight these vampires so they no longer feed on your wallet. The easiest method is to simply unplug your devices when you're not using them. But this may not be practical or convenient for things like washing machines, refrigerators, or TVs. Another way to fix the problem is by plugging your devices into a power strip. This works well for things like cell phone chargers, laptops, and extra devices connected to your computer. When you're not using them, just switch the whole power strip off. However, the best way to kill energy vampires is to get rid of as many as you can. Many devices have a rating that shows how energy efficient they are. Replace your old devices with newer ones that have a higher rating, and you'll watch your electricity bill drop. Stopping energy vampires affects more than just your bills, though. It reduces everyone's total electricity use, which is better for the environment. So, if you want to have a greener future, start hunting the energy vampires in your house today.
I'm Jamie.
I'm Josh.
And today we're playing a game called Word Drop, where we each have 3 cards with words or phrases on them, and we're going to use them in a casual conversation because we haven't seen these before, so that's why it's tricky. So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's start.
Start this conversation.
Start in 1 second. Okay, so, I like to play puzzle games a lot. Like, there are games such as Sudoku, if you've heard of it, right? Where you have the numbers, and crossword puzzles. Those are pretty interesting too. But those are kind of advanced, right? Like for adults. But when children have their own versions, right? They kind of have easier games, maybe like word searches.
Yeah.
Or you can, I don't know what else. Coloring books, I guess. That's not really a puzzle game, but still, like just activities kids can do like on paper with pencil and stuff. And one kind of game, I guess, or one kind of activity that I think kids might like to do is they like to connect the dots, where you take a pencil and you have dots and you connect them.
Yeah, connecting the dots is great. I remember we were on a drive to our beach house and I had all these activity books in the car, but doing dot to dots in the backseat of a car on a hot day is just the perfect recipe for car sickness, I've found.
Oh.
It's absolutely horrible. And we found driving on the freeway to get there was better than the local roads. In fact, it was more efficient.
Oh, it's more efficient. Okay, yeah, so that's probably good. Better. I actually often get car sick, so I like to ride in the car as little as possible. But like that was worse when I was younger. Thankfully, it's not so bad now. Yeah. Car sick is just horrible. And I've found now with the car that I drive, I don't like to use the fabric seats. I once had a friend and was driving back and he was feeling car sick and he threw up all over the seats. Ooh.
So I had to replace the covers.
Wow, that sounds awful.
Oh,
yeah.
Not good.
I don't like riding in the car, but I do like driving. And I think driving is a very fun activity for me. Driving during the daytime is better. At nights, I can drive, but only if I switch the lights on.
Oh, switching the lights on is such a good idea when you drive at night.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also just more safer. It's safer for everyone involved, people on the street, people on the car. And plus, sometimes when the lights are on, you can see things that you normally wouldn't see at night.
Yeah.
You might see a restaurant that you've never been to. I found that switching the lights on is very practical.
It is very practical.
Yeah.
That way you don't hit anybody by accident or hit anything.
No, and I think it's also, it's legal.
It's legal, yeah.
See you next time.